All right, let's dive into something that I think pretty much everyone can relate to. It feels ancient, but at the same time, it feels like it could have happened yesterday. We're talking about the way families talk to each other, or maybe the way they don't. You know that feeling, right? You're in an argument with family, and it feels like you're on a hamster wheel. You've had this exact same conversation 100 times before. Everyone's talking, sure, but is anyone actually listening? It's so frustrating, and it makes you wonder, why does this keep happening, even in families that really do love each other? Well, what if I told you the key to understanding all of this might be hiding in a play that's over a century old? Seriously, we're going to use Eugene O'Neill's incredible play, Long Day's Journey into Night, as kind of a psychological case study to see what's really going on. So, let's meet them. This is our case study, the Tyrone family. And on the surface, they're a family held together by love, even if it's messy. But underneath, man, they are just fractured by years and years of pain that no one will talk about directly. It's like their entire world, every conversation, just boils down to these four things. They talk constantly, but it's like they have a four-song playlist on a loop. The dad's stinginess, the mom's addiction, the older son's betterness, and the younger son's sickness. They talk around the wounds, they poke at them, but they never, ever get close to actually healing them. And that right there, that's the absolute core of the problem. It's not that they don't communicate. They talk all the time. The problem is a total lack of connection. They use their words like weapons, or maybe like shields, but never ever as bridges to each other. So you look at the Tyrones, trapped in these endless defensive arguments 100 years ago, and you think, okay, that's the past. But is it? Just think of a family like the Roys from the show Succession. They are in constant contact, right? But it's all power plays. It's all manipulation. Every single conversation is a chess move, a way to get one up on a sibling or to win dad's approval for 5 seconds. They talk, but they're not looking for empathy. It's the exact same fundamental problem, just, in a different century. So, what happens when a family has all this unspoken pain floating around? How do you cope? Well, a lot of the time, you escape. And this is where addiction enters the story. But, and this is key, it's not seen as a moral failure. It's a symptom of something way deeper. The play is just brilliant in the way it reframes this. The mother, Mary Tyrone, she's not addicted to morphine because she's a bad person. She's using it to escape the absolutely crushing weight of her loneliness and disappointment. It's her only way out when nobody in her family can give her the real comfort or understanding she needs. And her need for that escape, it all points back to one core issue: emotional neglect. I mean, her husband James, he's a good provider. He makes sure there's a roof over their heads, food on the table. But the house itself is completely starved. There's no emotional warmth, no reassurance. It's not a safe place to be vulnerable. And that kind of neglect, it always has consequences. You can see how that emotional vacuum just shapes their sons' entire lives. Jamie, the older one, he turns his pain outward. He becomes this cynical, self-destructive guy. But Edmund, the younger one, he turns his pain inward, becoming super sensitive and withdrawn. The neglect from one generation literally becomes the damage of the next. Okay, so the problems feel incredibly similar, don't they? But, and this is the really big deal, there is one massive, crucial difference between the world of the Tyrones and our world today. And that difference comes down to one simple word: awareness. Just think about it. In their time, addiction was a terrible, shameful secret you hid at all costs. Emotional pain was just a private weakness you were supposed to deal with. But today, we understand addiction is a medical condition. We actually talk openly about mental health. We have things like therapy and counseling. We have a whole vocabulary for these struggles that the Tyrones simply didn't have. And a huge part of that evolution comes from changing gender roles. Mary Tyrone was trapped by this expectation that women should just suffer in silence. Her pain was dismissed, which only made her feel more alone. Now, we still have a long way to go, but thankfully modern stories and modern life allow women so much more space to voice their struggles and get help. So, we've looked at this timeless pain, and we've seen how much progress we've made in our awareness. But does all that progress mean we've actually solved the problem? Look, we've made incredible progress, for sure. Unlike the Tyrones who were just lost in this confused silence, we can now put a name to our pain. We can say addiction, depression, trauma, we have the words. But here's the challenge, the question the play leaves hanging in the air, and it's just as relevant now as it was then. Having the words is one thing, that's great, but do we have the courage to stop talking,
to put our own differences aside for a minute and to actually truly listen to the people we love?
And that's really what it all comes down to. This play reminds us that awareness is the first step, but it's not the last one. True connection and real healing, that doesn't start when we find the right words to say. It starts when we find the quiet courage to just listen.